Hello again. In this video, we're looking into the vastly misunderstood subject of free will. What do you think free will is? Is it perhaps some freedom to choose what you're doing in life? Is it a freedom to choose what you're creating? Now, fundamentally, your human mind believes it does have free will and it should have free will. This is entirely understandable because the real you that created that human mind has an abundance of free will. However, the said human mind that you created does not have free will. It's a processor, it's a reactive entity. It is currently experiencing a very large amount of illusory thoughts, such as what it likes, what it thinks it dislikes, what it believes it wants in life. And let's look at some of the discrepancies between what it's believing and the reality of the situation. For example, notice in the lifetime you're living right now how there are quite a few challenges you believe you could do without, or you wish would go faster. Just notice how often you think things should be different. But the real you that has created all of this obviously did it that way. Otherwise it couldn't be. The real you is after all in control. And you're now living through the consequences of what you've created down at the earth level. And notice how frequently you are mystified as to why life appears to be the way it is. Yet you did it. You did it that way for a reason. So, as you really start to explore the reality of how little free will the human form you're living through has, you will find yourself taken towards the edge of sanity, where you'll realize how pointless so many things in life are and how powerless your human form is. But fortunately, out of clearing away a overinflated ego, shrinking it down, you make room for that higher light of what you really are to come through. And as a consequence of that, you begin to get free will here on Earth. But to begin with, you're not going to have a lot, and that's why we're watching this video right now. That's why you need to start noticing what's really going on. If you're not noticing what's going on and you're not paying attention, then it's very hard to change things. And this video is just giving you some simple reminders of what is occurring. So remind yourself, at this moment, you're living through this artificially created mind. It's experiencing lots of thoughts and emotions that are not the real you. And every time you believe they are the real you, you get sucked up in the illusion of being live on Earth. And when you're sucked into that illusion, it's a consequence of what you've created and a consequence where you have no free will until you wake up again. This is the point of this whole series of videos, to help you wake up. So what I'd like you to do right now is to help us wake up some more, just breathe better. As we've said many times before, breathing is one of the most important things you can do, because it reminds you to let your energy system flow. Breathe better and smile more. Now, observe how the human form you're experiencing life through is attracted to things such as books that tell it about taking control of its life, being able to make choices. Notice how the choices that human mind makes and what it's attracted towards are very much driven by its intuition, a sense of what's good, what's bad, what's right or wrong. And realize that that intuition is largely powered by whatever you're sensing. And what you sense might be a higher energy coming through, it might be help from guiding spirits all around you. But most of the time it's probably the ramblings and chit-chat of the lower spirit world. And as a consequence, the whole decision-making process you're experiencing is being driven by that lower spirit world and the various materialistic wants and desires that go with it. And as a simple consequence of this, you will have lost touch with what you really want in this world. That's why, for example, obsessions with having more money, even if you have plenty, are so common and control so many people. So smile and breathe nicely. And remember how the real you is creating all of this. In the case of money, the real you has put just the right of money, or debt as the case may be, in place to cause the reactive entity to do things. And in this case, is getting the reactive entity to increase its skill, to increase its abilities, which is a very worthwhile and useful process. And the reactive human entity needs to remember this, because otherwise it gets completely lost. And when it's lost, it's then given a series of challenges to wake it up again and start to change what it's creating. When this video was recorded, it was a couple of years before 2012. The chances of a human form having much free will were very slim. By way of an example, what we mean is, if you're out on a bright sunny day and you could see the sunshine, let's call that full free will. Well, a human form back then would have perhaps glanced up at the sky on a dark night and seen perhaps a bit of moonlight, and that was about as much free will as it thought it'd get. A reflection of the free will that was driving the world, the difference between night and day. Daytime, full sunshine, that would be the real free will driving this universe. Nighttime, bit of moonlight, that would be the amount of free will a human form would typically experience. Again, a reflection of the real thing. So I'd like you to breathe better, smile again, and remember that you created this for yourself because it was going to be amazing fun to break out of. Amazing fun to recover your free will from a state of repetitive nonsense where you had none. This is an experiment. You, the real you, is truly enjoying. And as the human extension of what you are remembers this and pays attention to the real you, creativity takes over. The lifetime you're living will change. This is a very simple message, and it's a message you'll be reminded of every day. Every day is another chance to get back to having free will. See you soon.